Every city has places that don't look urban. Parks are a replica of nature created by humans in cities. These parks exist not only for people, but for some animals too, because they provide the scarcest things in the city: food and habitat. But the parks also have the most common thing in any city: human disturbance. From our point of view, this kind of disturbance may be negligible. Still, to animals, it is an opportunity that can change everything, or a difficult challenge. In the face of such complex influence, each animal must decide whether to retreat, advance, adapt, or flee. Every small choice they make has something to do with the most important thing for them: their inconspicuous but extraordinary life. In Beijing, every park and garden has a unique and long history. This is a former royal garden, the Summer Palace. Lady Squirrel has survived the winter at last, but only by eating up all the food she stored last year. But the most pressing matter is not hunger, but the urgent need for water. Snow is her most crucial water source in winter, but it has yet to come this year. She can live with little food, but not without water. Fortunately, old trees always sprout on time. This lady squirrel is the best at seizing this opportunity, since water is transported upwards from the roots through the dry branches and gathered in the sprouts. The sap of the old trees temporarily quenched the squirrel's thirst. Still, she has to wait patiently for irrigation to start in the park. Human influence is visible everywhere in the park. You can turn the tables on fate if you know how. Lady Squirrel, now with a full stomach, has gone into heat, attracting nearby males. But her territorial instincts do not easily allow strangers to casually approach. Love can't be forced. Some notable features in the park have attracted another type of squirrel. The rock squirrel. They like to live in crevices in the mountains, and the park's rockery perfectly simulates such an environment. Most wouldn't know where to look for food, but the grey magpies know. The bold and clever birds can always find something to eat. So the rock squirrels follow the grey magpie wherever it goes. Following these foodies of nature, rock squirrels can always get a share. But now, no one needs food more than this squirrel, who will soon become a mother. The little lives in her womb will consume her extra energy. She must eat a lot, but this pine cone has not grown yet. Where can she find something to eat? It's the peak season for spring outings. The summer palace receives tens of thousands of tourists daily, which can perhaps be of help. Food is in the trash cans, but what humans eat is not necessarily suitable for squirrels. Living in the park for a year has helped her develop a strong stomach. Other squirrels do not eat starch, which is hard to digest. But this mother-to-be does not mind. She will do things that other squirrels won't if she can feed the babies in her belly. Some squirrels don't like human food, like the Eurasian red squirrel, also called the northern squirrel. Born in the cold northeast with beautiful warm fur, it must change its outfit in the spring of Beijing, making it look much thinner. They feed on a small variety of foods, and particularly flavor nuts rich in oil and fat. Squirrels that aren't afraid of people will often have good luck. Compared with living in the wild, where food is unpredictable, the park is always full of opportunities. But not all animals in the park like to get close to people. The Chinese mantis stands at the top of the food chain in the insect world. In order to hunt, they have evolved into larger sizes with sharper weapons. At the same time, they also need more food to survive, rendering them more susceptible to human influences. To keep our garden plants healthy, we kill insects by all means. But many so-called pests are food for the mantis. Not having enough to eat in big cities, big insects like the mantis will either starve to death or retreat to the countryside. Yet, to our surprise, some mantises always return to the city. This Chinese scholar tree, sitting in a suburban nursery in spring, has reached full maturity. It will soon be transplanted into an urban green space several kilometers away. Keeping the tree company is an egg mass a mantis laid last autumn. In 2 months, hundreds of baby mantises will hatch. The gardeners usually move several trees every day. But this time, they didn't realize their actions would change the fate of hundreds of little creatures. A short migration of only a few dozen kilometers can be a great challenge for the mantis, as the egg mass may be damaged or fall off along the way. Where they will end up is just a matter of luck. The tree has arrived at the construction site for the new Beijing Municipal Administrative Center. Under the guidance of the dispatcher, the mantises arrived at their new home. The sunken garden in the office area. Despite their safe arrival, their future is still uncertain, though there is still time. Some other mantises haven't had unique migrations like this, but still have unusual territories. Within Beijing's second ring road, this enclosed garden was the city's first major amusement park. It holds childhood memories for many young people. Nature is gradually reclaiming its territory, where humans are no longer in control. As the noise of human activities subsides, animals come back. The Chinese mantis has an easier time hunting here, preying on anything the right size that moves. Two months later, The greening efforts at the Beijing Municipal Administrative Center have proved effective.
But also imbued the finished film with a profound significance.
Hundreds of baby mantises have hatched, but only 1 or 2 can survive to maturity. Fortunately, these once common insects have not left, whether in the abandoned park or the new urban green areas. The mantises fight to survive, never giving up. Some timid animals are not so lucky. Yue Ying can't remember how many years have passed since she last saw a long-eared owl at the Temple of Heaven, but she still remembers a dozen perched on an ancient tree with people sitting below.
就这几棵，这几棵树就是原来长耳鸮比较多的地方，现在也没有了。
This was where the emperors of the Ming and Qing dynasties worshipped and prayed to heaven. It is now open to the public with vast space and lush vegetation, providing a habitat for birds. The Temple of Heaven is of unusual significance for animals, particularly Yue Ying, who has lived near the park her whole life and has witnessed its changes.
像我小时候这一片会种了很多果树，有那个苹果什么的。收苹果的时候，我们学校里边就安排到这儿来采摘苹果，现在都没有了已经。
Yue Ying is a nature teacher at a science and technology museum. Back in 2000, when she was a senior, she spent an entire winter at the Temple of Heaven, working on her graduation thesis. She was looking for the long-eared owl, the most mysterious creature in the park.
王若凡、徐一涵，我们来看第一个长耳鸮。
杀手一向来无影去无踪，具有传承都拥有无敌于天下的本领。
No one knows how long these owls have lived in the Temple of Heaven. They are highly selective about their habitat. Their favorite wintering spot used to be the Temple of Heaven. They hid in the dense pines and cypresses during the day and hunted at night. With exceptional vision, they can sense the slightest movements in the dark. Their serrated feathers allow them to cut quietly through the sky, over the altar, in search of prey. Under the trees where long-eared owls perch, in addition to droppings, there are often some scattered pellets. That is the undigested food the owls regurgitate, including feathers and bones. These pellets provide important information about the long-eared owls.
能看到有什么？有骨头，有毛，是吗？有骨头和毛。
他们那个不是应该像头骨？哪那么像？像，哎，这才真正头骨。这哪？Yue
Ying has always wanted to take the kids to observe long-eared owls in their natural habitat in the wild.
好，那咱们今天呢就到这儿，好吗？好，去吧。
等你。
对，我们外边等你。
老师再见。
拜拜。拜拜。特别喜欢，因为从98年开始，我第一次去天坛公园， 看这个长耳鸮嘛。然后从那个时候就开始每年都关注它，就像一个每年定期来约会的一个老朋友，每年到冬天11月份他就来北京，我就肯定就去看他，然后3月底他就走了，然后就送他走了，就是这样。
Yue Ying still visits the Temple of Heaven annually in search of long-eared owls, but with no success. Nonetheless, she plans to visit again this year.
99年到2000年的时候，我呢就住在这里面，然后每天就晚上就在这里边看着它什么时候离开呀，什么时候早上什么时候回来。长耳鸮它还有一个名字叫做长耳木兔，身上的那个羽毛它跟这个树皮的颜色非常接近，就觉得是一个树桩一样。
However, there is still no sign of long-eared owls at the Temple of Heaven.
也许它就生活在我们看不见的其他的什么地方吧。
It could be due to the tourists, the noise, or a shortage of food. In a system simple yet complex like a park, it is hard to know precisely why the long-eared owls disappeared. However, it's a long winter, and Yue Ying is very patient. In contrast to the somewhat desolate Temple of Heaven, another park is bustling with activity. All cities have water sources where many animals live, especially in winter. The heat from the city melts the ice, creating an oasis for water birds. Among them is a bird that is both familiar and unfamiliar to us, the mandarin duck. We could hardly see them in the city if it were not for this small body of water. As winter comes to a close, most mandarin ducks have finished hibernating and are ready to enter a new phase of life. They are returning to the northeast to give birth. But some have bigger plans, like this pair who intends to hold their wedding in the park. Clearly, more than one male has the same idea, but its bride-snatching attempt has failed. Although spared the exhausting flight, this couple still faces many challenges settling down. First, they need a home. A natural tree hole suitable for mandarin ducks to breed must be big, high enough, and well secluded. It takes years to build. However, tree holes are fixed by gardeners for the safety of the trees and the tourists. What can the mandarin ducks do? Fight for it. Li Guo lives near Zhuzhuyuan Park. He grew up watching the mandarin ducks in the park. Over the past few years, he has built better homes for these ducks than tree holes. First, he needed to gain a thorough understanding of them. Get into the water and climb the tree. Get close to the mandarin ducks.
啊，上去看看。
不是，我给你送到那上面，然后呢？
然后我再想办法。
不是，你不用想办法，就你够都够不着。
你俩都上去，上完之后再踩你肩膀再上去。小心啊，小心搂住了。
搂住已经，从那洞那儿拍行。这等还有个树杈子，尽量扶那粗树，别扶那细的。
手抱住。
哎，去年的时候孵出的是6.1是吧？啊，6.1孵出了，然后往前倒1个月的话，大概5.1的时候开始孵，到4月底就能看到小鸳鸯了。
To attract the mandarin ducks, the location and shape of the nests should cater to their lifestyle and breeding needs. The nests must be meticulously built for the ducks to use them. For that, Li Guo found Hua Gua, a British friend who loves woodwork. In the basement, they are going to turn a pile of wooden boards into a mandarin duck's home.
Then this side. Okay.
I'll have a try there.
Yeah, you try that.
To meet the requirements of mandarin ducks, the more complicated it is, the more attention it deserves. It took 8 hours to finally make a qualified nesting box.
你对这个做的还满意吗？
我觉得还好。
He is genuinely the most clever person I've ever met in my entire life. What he's doing is amazing. What he's put into it and the technology and how he's done it is far beyond what I could have done when I was that young. I know it's for some mandarin ducks, but I don't know what mandarin ducks are. First time I've built anything for an animal.
In April, the female mandarin ducks were busy looking for nests to lay eggs. Time is running out, and Li Guo must work fast. To place the nest at a suitable height for mandarin ducks, he must learn to climb trees.
树要细行吗？
细可以，就这个。
你身手不错呀，这个东西还挺好使的。不错。
2 weeks later, the new nesting boxes were ready on the lake island in Zhiyuan Park.
So 说明现在可能是那边那个湖心岛也有游了。
各位游客，因为今天风力较大，为了您的安全。
你上去的时候找个地方把这个扣上，这怎么扣？
After practice, Li Guo climbed faster and more steadily. He found new eggs just laid by mandarin ducks in the old nest last year.
这地上在偷的，这还有去年粘的大丽江呢。
哎，这像新蛋吧？
新的，二像是新的，新的。
这3个蛋是我们刚才从旧巢箱里面拿出来的。我们感觉这个可能是有点新下的蛋，这2个是肯定是去年的陈蛋。
走。放进去。
Whether or not the mandarin ducks will come, the only thing Li Guo can do is wait.
哎呀，希望今年还6月1号小鸢也能孵出来。
According to the migration routine of long-eared owls, it was time for them to leave Beijing. And Yue Ying's wait finally paid off.
说这个上礼拜的时候在南海子看到了这个长耳鸮，然后今天想去找找，也不知道能不能找到，带着学生们去碰碰运气吧。
But no one is sure if any long-eared owls are actually here. The last thing Yue Ying wants is to disappoint her students.
哪个小朋友咱们能够第一个发现猫头鹰，好吗？好，那咱们出发。走，咱们再找。
树底下发现了一大堆。
在哪棵树上？树底下。
树底下发现了有很多。
你刚才在哪儿捡到的？看到了，这是一个，应该是某种山雀，山雀的头骨，大家看看。
The children are getting more excited as they get closer to seeing the owls.
行。
老师，这是吗？
是。
Yue Ying plans to act alone in order not to scare the owls away. 看这个，这些都是石团，1、2、3、4、5、6，这一小块这就是6个。我觉得它在这儿生活的时间还是挺长的，应该整个冬天都是在这儿。咱们看这上面，这个都是粪便。我们一般能找着粪便，新鲜粪便就说明有长耳鸮。11，这些都是石团，而且，看见了。
正好你来这儿，正好。
看见了。对，他正低着头看着咱们呢。觉得能找到他是非常开心的。孩子们，来。一会儿我会带着大家，咱们到那里面去看一下，然后大家一定要保持安静啊，必须要保持安静。嘘。在那儿呢。再顺着我手指。可以先不用望远镜，可以先眼睛。
For these children, it's the first time they have ever come into close contact with the owls. 刘英，你看见猫头鹰了吗？看见了是吧？这个猫头鹰。For Yue Ying, it was a reunion after a long parting. 17 years ago, her father went to the Temple of Heaven every morning and collected thousands of owl pellets for her.
算我的启蒙。
Today, the old man picked up some more, so that more children can know the long-eared owl. As the Temple of Heaven turned lush again, the long-eared owls returned to their home in the north. Yue Ying likes to look at the Temple of Heaven from here. She can see every tree she is familiar with. Maybe she can see the long-eared owls again. Perching on the old tree by the bench, just like before. In Zhuzhuyuan Park, a mandarin duck has settled down in the nesting box. But this was only the first step to success. Another 30 days later, at 3 a.m., the baby mandarin ducks finally hatch. Even as newborns, they are eager to break free from their mother and begin exploring the world. At dawn, Li Guo's family and friends arrive at the lake to witness the baby ducks. They need to get out of the nest as soon as possible, but they still have to wait for the signal from their mother.
应该就是在看外面的情况怎么样。如果外面的情况比较好呢，然后它就会带小鸳鸯一块跳出来。
But today, the mother is extremely cautious. She sticks out her head to check the surroundings from time to time, but has not yet sent a signal.
你看那个雌鸳鸯在探头。
The mother is worried that the jump down might injure her ducklings, but she can't leave them in the nest either. The mandarin ducks are as concerned as the people on the ground.
7点到7点半，我觉得要不出来的话，可能就明天了。不过看今天的样子，对，一直在往外探，一直在看。
This mother finally made a brave decision.
他站着不动，你看见发现了吗？下来了，出来了是吗？出来了。一个跳出来了。两个，3个，4个，5个，6个，7个，还有一个，这里边就剩一个了。看小圆圆多明白。下来了，出来了是吗？8只。
来，还有一个。
1、2、3，耶！
不用再等第二天了。
太棒了！乐乐看见，你哥没看见。
8 baby mandarin ducks finally entered the outside world from winter to summer. This is the best result of Li Guo's 3 years of hard work. What made him even happier was that his teachers and classmates all became fans of mandarin ducks.
Yeah.
In Beijing's parks, many animals, like mandarin ducks, benefit from the kindness of humans, but some are regarded as enemies. After the Grain Rain Festival in mid-April, the temperature in Beijing starts to climb. It's the season for aphids. People don't like aphids because they always destroy our plants. Humans have tried many ways to get rid of them, but none of them worked. Aphids are just doing what they have to do for survival. As small potatoes at the bottom of the food chain, they have to do everything they can to survive, which is not evil. To adapt to different seasons and temperatures, aphids have developed the ability to give birth to live young as well as lay eggs. To find food, some have also evolved to grow wings. The individual lives of aphids are tiny, but their collective life sustains through their strong reproductive ability. With their vitality, pesticides are not so effective. To stop this mutual damage, Zhang Luyan of Longtang Westlake Park took one step back. In fact, other than humans, most animals like aphids.
对，真的非常大。其实农药不光是影响，就是这个我们看得见的，其实它也会影响地下水啊、水啊。非常好的这个生态圈的话，其实是非常很多都需要去做才行。
对，它现在就是刚才比较受惊吓，现在就会稍微的安静一会儿，然后再开始寻找它的食物。
It is aphids that feed hundreds of animals that feed on them directly or indirectly. Take this little guy as an example. The first thing they do after they are born is to prey on aphids in large quantities. The little ladybug eats the most when it is about to transform. But the aphids are not sitting still, waiting for death. This is the aphid excrement, the honeydew. Ironically, annoying aphids excrete something so sweet that it drives nearby ants crazy. They would protect their neighbors like bodyguards for the sweets. To eat aphids, the ladybug must first defeat the ants. Although ladybugs and aphids are natural enemies, nature works in a logic different from chemistry. It will not drive a species to extinction, which is also the key to the law of nature: balanced, accurate, and impartial. A good example is humans and ladybugs. Sometimes ladybugs do more for humans, and sometimes the opposite. At the end of summer, the last batch of ladybugs released by Zhang Luyan in the park will live longer. They know better how to withstand the coming winter in unity. They will gather under tree stumps and rocks and hibernate until spring. In the park, few corners are suitable for wintering. Still, as long as no one disturbs them, ladybugs prefer to live in human houses. They confidently set their sights on a place that will not turn them away. Zhang Luyan's office. Sensitive ladybugs are very satisfied with the temperature and humidity here. Zhang's daughter found the ladybugs, who were trying to sneak in.
为有这么多只呢？
冻死了呀！
哪只冻死了？
这只呀。
Zhang Luyan decided to leave a gap for the ladybugs, allowing them to come and go freely.
好的，咱们把窗户给打开一些。
小心点。
没有问题。
先去吧，小瓢虫。
The ladybugs, who came to the park by accident in summer, got assistance from humans in winter. Even in the city, in a small piece of artificial nature, when we try to understand each other's dilemma, as long as we keep a proper distance and respect the laws of nature, nature will treat us well too.